So when we pull back the thread on how governments interact with each other from a monetary standpoint, from an energy exchange standpoint, because that's effectively what this is they're exchanging energy with each other. Well, we've never had a money that has been trustless, based on trustless technology. That's Bitcoin. Everybody that's listening to your show understands that that's the innovation, is trustless money. So when we're to the left of that event, of this new technology inserting itself, everybody was using gold as this foundational layer. But the issue that so many Bitcoiners understand is that technology of gold and paper units on top of it, the reason the paper units are on top of it is because the gold isn't saleable in a way that's easily exchanged between counterparties. Okay. So that's how paper currency arises to this. This is where you interject why violence is so closely associated with gold and the paper units that ride on top of gold as a representation of that unit. Okay, so you and I, now we're governments. Let's say I'm government A, you're government B, and we have a difference in how we're trading with each other. And you're saying, I think you're cheating over there, Preston. I think you're paying me with these paper units that are actually getting debased, but you're telling me that they're not. Because the only way you can actually audit that is based off of me telling you what the audit trail is. Right? Like, you can't come in there and like round up all these paper units and say, well, let me see your gold vaults. Let me make sure you haven't put lead in the middle of the bars. Let me make sure, like, all of these things, right? It all, because that money required trust, it opens itself to the country manipulating the currency so that they don't have to go to the citizens to say, I want to go argue and fight with Jimmy because I think he has done something unethical over there and I think he's doing X, Y, or Z, right? So you're able to tax immediately through the debasement of that paper currency to fund whatever short-term interest that you have at a long-term expense. Now, governments can do this in a productive way and they can do it in an unproductive way. But I know in my personal life, individually, when I'm making a short-term decision at a long-term expense, it is almost always a bad decision, right? It's like, do I go into the kitchen and scoop off some ice cream here at 10 o'clock in the morning and enjoy myself a nice ice cream at the expense of my long-term health? It's a bad decision. It doesn't mean that it wouldn't be an enjoyable decision for the 5 minutes that it would take for me to plow through that, but like, that's what we're really up against. And so fiat that rides, well, I guess it wouldn't be considered fiat if you're actually on a gold standard. But what it does is it incentivizes you to never be able to actually keep the peg, is because you tap into that and you continue to debase it, and you don't replenish the ratio that you had before through taxation. Instead, you just let it ride and you keep doing it. And once you stuck your hand in the cookie jar and you didn't get caught, then you do it another 5 times. And next thing you know, you break your gold peg, which has happened with 100% certainty throughout time. Okay.